It just so happens here that the channel's only mostly dead. Now, mostly dead is slightly alive. All dead? Well, with all dead, there's usually only one thing you can do. What's that? Rifle through all the videos and look for memes. Hey! Hello in there! Hey! What do you got going on that's worth posting a video about? Sintra. You heard him. Sintra is a very good reason to make a video. But that isn't what he said. He said Pintra, which, as we all know, is youth language for Pinterest. So he must have gotten into the digital hobby 10 years too late. Liar! He said Sintra, Max. He's been afraid of returning there ever since Prince Ferdinand II dismissed him for passing gas in his presence. Don't say another word, Valerie. We will get into the palace, I promise you. And we will pass even more gas in the prince's absence. Ha ha ha. Now that's a noble cause. I'm on the job. Every few years, I need to check in with my employer's healthcare partner for a government-mandated checkup. This time, the checkup was sprung a little short notice on me, and right close to when Bethany was going to take her own trip. But we managed to make it work.
But trip planning isn't interesting for a video. Let's get off the island and get to Lisboa. Global gas prices impacted ticket prices, and the carrier with the best price for me ended up being Santa. I stayed at the Tivoli, Lisboa, Oriente during my time on the mainland, and the rooms had a bit of a change. Less teal, more wood veneer, and the color black, with a more minimalist look. Must be fancy. I ate some lunch at the Sky Bar, which I always have enjoyed. Sadly, the prices for lunch were a little bit higher from last time here, but the whole point of me being on the mainland was needing to be addressed. So I crossed the city to the clinic where I had my checkups.
I'm fairly healthy, maybe not the most healthy I've ever been, but I think the doctor saw that there was not much of a need to keep me tied up with an appointment. That, and I was the last one of the day, and it was the day before a holiday. Maybe they just wanted to get things done.
So this released me back into the city, with only one real plan for the day. Eat at the only Filipino restaurant in Lisbon. The problem was I had to slow myself down. Otherwise, I would trek across the city so fast I'd get there before the place would open.
If you know me, which I'm assuming many of you do not, I tend to walk pretty fast because I have long legs. So I needed to find a way to slow me down and keep me from power walking straight to the restaurant.
First up was the Panteão Nacional, where the tombs and monuments of Portuguese historical figures are located. It being later in the day, it was closed. But I did enjoy walking around this unfinished cathedral.
Well, that didn't eat up enough time. What else can I do?
Well, it was staring right at me on the other side of the street. Art. Street art. There were a handful of artworks listed in Google Maps. Now that could give me enough distraction to make sure I was not too early and creeping around outside of the restaurant. Luckily, there was also art not listed on Google Maps as well. And then this caught my eye. 2 buildings being braced due to a structure in between them being removed. And while getting pictures and video of this, I realized I was standing in front of my destination, Inasal Filipinas, a mere minutes before they would open. And now I'm doing what I didn't want to do. I'm creeping around the restaurant before it opens.
I don't have video inside the restaurant for 2 reasons. 1, I don't like watching YouTube videos of people eating, so I tend not to make those kind of videos. And 2, I was having such a good time, I just wanted to be present in the moment and not being distracted by making good YouTube videos. The owner, Mario, was a hilarious, welcoming guy, and his staff was super friendly and so eager to fill me with their food.
I had some delicious adobo and chicharron with some excellent dipping sauce and a side of rice for the main meal. I also got a cup of the special soup of the day, which was excellent. Then finally, got an order of sisig for takeaway.
After thanking everyone for the wonderful food, I returned to the hotel for a calm night before the breakout day of the trip, going to Sintra.
A tourist town around 45 minutes to the north by train, where a bunch of historical sites are located.
But I failed to remember that it was going to be a national holiday. So that means Sintra is going to be filled with people from out of country and in country. Double the tourists. What am I doing? Why did I do this?
Also, in my rush to get everything put together, I didn't realize that some individual sites around the area were not included in the aggregate site that I used to purchase my tickets. So having a swath of locals and tourists visiting the historical sites, I did not get to see Quinta da Figueira due to not purchasing a ticket ahead of time online. And I don't remember any YouTube videos mentioning this.
But then again, I also saw tons of people promoting the get a train ticket from Lisbon and get the bus tickets locally combo thing that didn't exist either. So 2 strikes against trying to glean useful information off of YouTube.
But who cares about my careless pre-planning faults? Let's just hop the train to Sintra. Now, I had not used the regional trains in Lisbon before, and I was moving a bit quick in the station because I only realized once I was on the train, nope, I didn't tap in. So I figured I'd have to straighten it out at the far end. That was until I saw an official step on the train to check tickets.
Well, now I wouldn't have to wait. I could just rectify this situation on the train.
After they checked my ticket, they verified it was good, but that I had not tapped in. So I was scolded, and the situation was fixed, which made it easier at the destination for sure.
Because at the destination, I still had to get a bus ticket. And when I stepped out of the train station, I couldn't see a specific place for buying bus tickets. But I could see the buses and a long line waiting for them.
Meanwhile, across the street and to the right from the exit of the station is a brick-and-mortar site for the bus line. It probably had a shorter wait for the tickets, but I was unaware until the bus I was riding drove past it, and I was like, oh, I could have just got a ticket there, huh?
What are you going to do?
The idea was to go to Quinta da Figueira first, but I was on the bus and the bus did not stop there. So my timidness kind of got in the way again, and I just continued on the bus to the Moorish Castle, which wasn't the worst thing, as the castle ruins filled my time between arrival and my noon ticket at Pena Palace. After winding through the village and up the hills of the protected area, we ended up at the drop-off for the Moorish Castle. It's not far from the road, and there is stuff to view on your way in. Just don't get too far off track, as the trails can lead you all the way back down to the village if you're not paying attention. Further into the park, and its interpretation center is a 12th century church, followed by the excavated necropolis and the main walls. And then, if you don't have a guide, it's your choice how to go forward. I circled the front area, seeing what was available there before going further. One takeaway was that the walls were rebuilt over time. The original wall section dates back to the 12th century. King Ferdinand II did restoration in the 19th century, and finally, sections needing intervention to maintain the structure in the 20th century. You can see the different sections of the wall as you progress through the castle. Walking the walls is outstanding. It helps define, in reality, how the builders would use geography to be the base of their defensive fortifications, using high vantage points where you can see your enemies coming from far away, and then the steep cliffs to make it difficult for them to mount an attack, and finally, thick walls to keep them out as long as possible. The thing the walls were not designed for? Tourism. Often you'll need to shimmy past people or step aside and allow them by. The walls are absolutely not wheelchair friendly. It is also quite the trek to the top, with beautiful views along the way. Once at the top, your choice. Return the way you came, or weave between the shady trees. Due to the heat, I chose the shade.
The Moorish Castle was an amazing place to visit. Now, if you have mobility issues, it will be difficult to see everything. But I highly recommend the stop, especially if you don't have this kind of history where you're from. And next up, Pena Palace.
After a short bus ride, I arrived to a huge line. This demonstrates why you shouldn't wait to buy your ticket the day of. But with ticket in hand, it didn't take long to make it through the gate and to get access to the park. Which isn't the palace, you still need to hike up a hill to get to the palace. And sure, it's uphill, but it's a pretty gentle slope. There are also park trams for people with mobility issues. And this location was more wheelchair friendly, but, I mean, it's not 100% wheelchair friendly.
You want everyone to experience the palace as much as possible. But the structure is a historical record, and there are only so many modifications you can make before you start changing the historical record. And that's got to be a tough call to make sometimes.
The palace is very striking. Its colors just jump out at you. While the last castle visited was originally built in the 8th century, this palace was built in the mid-19th century. This wasn't built as protection. It was built as a royal summer getaway palace. While it doesn't have exactly huge rooms I would have imagined, it does have opulence in abundance. It was entertaining to chat with people from North America and Australia along the way, and overhear reactions of Germans and locals to the rooms and the items that they displayed within. The palace is remarkable, but it is a different kind of history than the Moorish Castle. In comparison, it feels very modern, and I mean, comparatively it is. Maybe Pena Palace should be viewed first, so you aren't filled with the feeling of, well, it's not that old.
There are two ways to experience Pena Palace. One, by getting the ticket for just the external grounds. And two, the ticket that also includes inside the palace. And the tickets are not drastically different in price. So if you haven't been inside, I'd say it's worth the price of admission.
The outside of the palace is beautiful with wide views of the surroundings and includes a cafe, the kitchen, and a chapel. There are plenty of opportunities for photos or selfies here before you need to make the trek back down the hill. I was debating checking out the park grounds that sprawl around the palace, but a few things were discouraging me.
One, I didn't eat since breakfast, and I was hungry, and all the places were expensive and packed full of people. Two, my feet weren't in pain, but the discomfort was rising. Three, I believe I was starting to get a headache, and when I get headaches, they can get bad real fast, and I did not have any medication on me. So I decided to try and take a break, get on the bus, ride it back down into the village of Sintra, and check that out. Cue the dramatic bus footage.
Choice here reflects the music the bus driver was playing as he drove a stuffed to the brim bus full of people down the hills back into the village.
Once I saw how overrun the village was, I gave up. I just stayed on the bus back to the train station, and then I got on the train back to Lisboa.
My headache had progressed on the way back, so I picked up some Nurofen from the store Wells and plopped into my bed at the hotel.
I had planned to go to the Chinese restaurant in the train station. It had looked very promising, and I was even eyeballing it last time I was in Lisboa. But I still had to calm down from my headache and let the medicine sink in and feel better. And during that time, the siren song started wafting over me. Sissig, you have leftover sissig. And there was nothing I could do. Took that container out and just mashed that in. Oh. Ruined my dinner.
So I skipped going to the Chinese place and did a late night at the Sky Bar. Had 2 signature drinks and a snack.
And this takes us to the last day of the trip. Purposely uneventful. I did have a headache, but I took those meds again and just knocked it out before it got the better of me.
Had my breakfast at the hotel, which is always outstanding, and made my way to the airport shortly after my checkout time. But all in all, I would have liked more time. But hey, I'm living on an island 2 hours offshore. I'll have more opportunities in the future. In the meantime, there are trails to be hiked and events to be attended on São Miguel so that I can share them on my other channel, Explore the Azores. Check it out. Sintra, though. Sintra was a good time. A person needs to get tickets in advance, though, and needs to have a good pair of comfortable shoes. And I'd love to go again with Bethany in the future because while it's nice to travel on your own, it sometimes doesn't feel as fulfilling than sharing those experiences with someone you love.
Sintra is a great destination to travel to, and there's so much to see I could not see it all in this small trip. I will definitely have to get back and give it another go. So hopefully this video maybe helps you plan your own adventure, or just entertains while you get out and travel. Bye-bye, boys! Have fun visiting Sintra. Think they'll see everything? It would take a miracle. Bye-bye.